Hey guys, Daily here from Team Moonax, and I ended up winning this cool thing, the World Championship Celebration Tournament that I went to playing pure Tri-Brigade. They might ask stuff like, how does Tri-Brigade work right now? Obviously, like, this deck is, and some of the new combo lines are really strong. I'll go through them a little bit and explain why this deck is the way it is, but it actually felt really good the whole time. As long as I wasn't floodgated, I did get shifted, I think twice, but both times I set up a very minimal board and like played a hand trap, and I was able to like live through it. But yeah, let's get into the deck. I'll kind of explain how it works and show you guys deck list. So to start off with, 3 Tri-Brigade Fractal, 3 Tit, 3 Nerval, 2 Keras, 1 Albion, 1 Mercurier. So this is our main like Tri-Brigade monster lineup. Basically, when this is banished, it adds this to your hand, and then this sends Branded Sword to the graveyard, and you're banishing this off tries. Normally Kit will send this, or you'll send it off Keras. And then you do this, dump your Branded, this is banished, dump Sword, draw a card, Sword, banish to add this back to your hand, and it functions as either a free discard, or it is a way to shuffle back, so you can go plus when you're resolving your Tri-Brigade linked monsters. So yeah, nothing crazy. I think this is like pretty normal for a pure Tri list. Something that's not so normal, but something I've been like a big purveyor of for a while now with Tri is the Nimble package. Sprint is really good, Gigantic is really good, it lets you go into your Tri names for free, and a lot of the combos now, especially with how good Link 2s are currently, make use of all of these. So yeah, really solid. After that, we play our hand traps, 3 Ash, 2 Ghost Ogre, 2 Droll, 1 Crow, and because we might as well, 3 Imperm. So nothing crazy here. Just like I felt like these are the hand traps I was most comfortable with. I didn't want to go too far over 40, because like you still need to see Tri-Brigade to play the game. Yeah, Nimble does it too. Yeah, you have like 1 card plays, but you still, and overall, will just need to see your Tri-Brigade monsters. You can go a little over if you really want to. I think there's a couple things in here that are annoying, like your Brit traps suck to draw. You can put them back, but you still want to play. So if you draw those and like not other cards go in second, it feels really bad too. So yeah, overall, I felt like this hand trap was fine. I didn't know what we'd be seeing at the tournament, so I just wanted what I felt I was comfortable with activating. I think Droll's really strong. I said the third one. Crow is because the Tri-Brigades actually really like it as a Beast Warrior extender, as like a hand trap, because it's a good extender. Ogre is really versatile, and then Ash and Imperm are just the most generic hand traps, in my opinion. I thought about Veiler, but I didn't want to play more hand traps that lost to Shifter, because Shifter is like the hardest card for me to beat. From there, triple Tenki, don't make fun of my rarities. I was only playing 2 originally, but I was like, okay, I want to play 3, because I can go up and down if I just like adding more starters to my deck. So 3 Tenki, nothing crazy there, in my opinion. Just search here for best card in the deck. 3 Forbidden Droplet, 2 Talents, 1 Called By, 1 Foolish for the rest of the spells. So basically, these are just like other non-engine slots. This deck plays really well with droplets, especially obviously going second. You can go Tri effect. A lot of the times they won't Veiler immediately because they want you to like burden that effect. You go effect, they'll chain Veiler, you'll chain droplets, you get out of it, and you get to negate one of their cards. Really solid. And then obviously Called By and Talents, because like we can shuffle extra copies of these back. Obviously this card is just generically good, this card is just generically good. I don't like to play more than this because I can only shuffle 2 cards back. And this is probably the worst card in the deck to have if it's dead. Finally, I guess Foolish is an extender. I forgot to put that there. 1 Revolt, 1 Sword, and 1 Azaroon. These are just generic trap lineup traps. This card's insane in this deck. Rabbit's really good in here. For one, I mean, if Silhouette worked the way I thought it did originally, it would have been insane. I picked one up thinking it was a negate when it was summoned, but it is unsummoned. It's not like, doesn't resolve like the Eldritch traps do, so it's kind of bad. But the idea here is that you can search this very consistently. If you draw it on like a lot of other decks, you can just put it back so you still can get the plus off the monster effect. We talked about Branded Sword. You need this for the Mercurier combo because you send this with the Albion. And like I said, you can put most of these back, so it's not too bad if you draw them. It is kind of annoying, but it's whatever. And then, yeah, Revolt's just a staple. And then, like I said, Azaroon is for the Rabbit, because Rabbit's insane in this deck. We really needed a Link 2 to end on to make the Gigantic lock like worthwhile, which we had like Pit Knight before, but it didn't always feel great because sometimes you couldn't get the double Dragon Lord in the extra monster zone. For that extra deck, we're playing 1 Lightheart. I'm just gonna go through our beast links first. 2 Fairjeet. You can probably get away with 1, but it really comes up that you have 2 of them, so I just keep it at 2. 1 Bear Broom, 1 double Dragon Lords, 1 Rudol, 2 Shurag. The idea here is that you need 1 for Revolt and you want 1 for like follow-up, because like one of the lines with this deck specifically is use this to break the board, and then you make a Fairjeet, and then you special summon Fairjeet, or you link for Fairjeet, and then you go for a fractal, banish 3, and you're able to link, and you're able to put up damage on board, basically. So nothing crazy there. And then we have the rest of our on top of those. We have the rest of our extra deck cards. 1 Sprite, 1 Sprint. These cards are broken in this deck. They have a bunch of targets. Kit's a really good one. And then Gigantic is insane for summoning out Kit or Nerval. Actually, Nimble Beaver is a 1-card Tri-Brigade combo because of these cards. Obviously, it's super weak to interruption, but if they don't have it, you're a better player than them, so you get to win. 1 Almirage, and then our pile. Well, I guess 1 Almirage, 1 access code for the other generic link 2s, then or for our other generic links. You need this. I don't think I resolved Fractal one time. I was linking off with. I was not drawing it first off. But I was a lot of times just linking off with like Kit and then pitching like I was like linking Kit off for Almirage or Nerval off for Almirage and doing my combo that way, which still works and plays through hand traps pretty nicely other than like Ash, but oh well, they just won't have it. 1 early, 1 little knight, and 1 rabbit. So yeah, basically the combo line ideally is almost always gonna end like there's kind of two lines you can do. It just depends on what you feel like is better. Or if you draw the rabbit, you can go for this route instead. A lot of the times you're gonna end either with like this, and then a revolt set, because this gives you like a good amount of disruption. You're gonna tribute this, or your monster on board, bounce their card, which will trigger Pit Knight to negate their card. Then you have revolt live from there. The other one you'll do a lot is instead there's one of the combo lines ends with like this, which this also feels pretty strong. You open up your zones for Little Knight again, it's kind of the same route here. And then sometimes this will also be an end board, it just really depends. Sometimes I'll go like this here. This also ends up being end board sometimes. It's not ideal, but it does work out. So yeah, there's just like a couple different endboards in this deck where it's really cool, and you're basically using the links and then like Revolt and like Azaroon as like your interrupts, and you're just playing like a hand trap pile because you can cycle your deck for your hand traps, and then as soon as Revolt resolves, you have follow up every game you have follow up with Revolt. So you go on the track back, and like a lot of the time, especially if you're like on like something like this, which like this end board comes up a fair amount. This end board comes up too, where you're ending like this. When you have this, you're just gonna like tribute the Gigantic here, and you get the negate, you get the bounce, and then you have Revolt live too, and then you have Azaroon live also. So the nice thing with this is it's a lot of interruptions, but what's more annoying is that this is grabbing Shurag, which is follow up. This is unkillable. This will come back in the end phase, so you just have to make free access codes for the follow-up, and then you're always going to have your sprite plays on crackback too. So you're always going to be able to go like for a Shurag line on the follow-up play there, which is insane. Sometimes I won't go for this, I'll go for the Little Knight line so I can hold that for the following turn because DDL is insane. I think the only thing that this deck really feels bad on is like I want more extra deck space. I want to play so many things, like not being able to fit Master is super frustrating because like everything in here is functionally mandatory. So this deck suffers really hard from a 15 card extra deck because like it could play so much more. I wanted to play the Eagle too, but there's no space for that. That card's insane in the matchups where it comes up, but it's not that good because it's not level 2, so you don't value it enough to make it worthwhile. Rudo linking for comes up sometimes, which Eagle's hard to link for. So yeah, there's just like a lot of little things in here, a lot of little weird interactions that make this extra deck really tight, but it felt really good. I don't think I would change anything right now. Everything felt okay, everything comes up. Specifically, like there's just cards you can't cut, so you're kind of just forced to like play, like there's no world where you can cut almost anything. These are like your only like flex cards. You don't have to play these if you don't want to, but Rabbit's perfect for this end board. Same with DDL, but then so you're stuck kind of playing, actually you don't have to play Little Knight, but of course you're gonna play Little Knight. Everything in here is pretty much mandatory. Like you don't have to play like these four, but this comes up so much, or this comes up so much when I don't play it, so you just have to play it. And then like I won a couple of games off of it because like some of the lines just like you get hand trapped and like, okay, well I just need to be able to like play through with like Ascension, especially if they like Ash Fractal, which has happened before and I've lost because of it, so I just forced myself to play this. We have Pit Knight, and then we have Silhouette. I mean, like these feel mandatory. These cards are really strong. Pit Knight is like debatable. You could cut this if you want to play something else, but you could value Mask over Pit Knight. It's just really up to you. Same with Silhouette. If you don't want to play another brick in your deck, I totally get it. It does feel really nice to end on because unless you're ending Pit Knight, you're not going to link into any link 2s that really do anything other than like your mass. Sometimes you can't link basically anything you can't link Bear Broom into is probably not worth playing, and that's the problem with Mask, is you can't link Bear Broom into it to end on, so there's not a lot of hands where you want to play it, but it does come up sometimes. So I think the ice stretch is really tight, but if it was perfect for me, like I said, I wanted Mask a couple times, but it wasn't that big of a deal. Side deck, triple Nibiru, you just have to, right? Triple Phantasme, I think this card's really good in this format against like almost all the decks they linked early on, or they're making link plays with Engrave or anything like that. So this just comes out, it like makes it so shit's not targetable, which is really good, and it lets you cycle for the hand traps you want. So you're functionally just playing like more hand traps into a lot of the decks. That's also why I wanted to play cards like Droll and Ogre that are like drawable and playable on the like second. I'm not really a big fan of Nib in here with Phantasme. You can main deck Nib. I just didn't feel like it was that good this format. If you wanted to, you could just play it in the main and like free up some side deck slots for other cards. I might actually play Judgment going forward because like Evenly is a nightmare to play against. There's not really good out to it either. Other than playing like Sprite Red, which kind of sucks. You could also play a time card. I'm pretty quick when I play, so I don't usually worry about it. Board Breakers, these felt fine. We're already maining Droplets, which is a strong one. So basically we're going from game one, I played like a little bit more generic hand traps. I could even argue, if you really wanted to go for something like this, where you cut those, play these in the main, and this would probably be fine too, because these are always going to be like live hand traps on like most matchups also, and then you get to play more specialized hand traps. I'm not sure if that's what I'm going to do yet, but it feels like it would be fine. So yeah, that's the deck. I guess I'll do combo lines eventually, probably not right now, because there's a lot of them and they are kind of confusing. I'll probably play a tournament with this deck at some point on video. I do want to test it more. I do think this deck feels really good. For anyone curious, the end board that I was showing a little bit earlier with like the Link monsters, it pretty much all gets done off this card. At least like if you have this card, or if you have Nimble Beaver, you're able to full combo. Anything else requires one more card to play. Foolish is also a full combo. It feels really good, honestly. I don't have any complaints. This deck felt great all day when I was playing. Obviously when I got like floodgated, it sucks. If you don't get shifted, you're probably gonna do fine with this deck, but you're playing the game of I'm just not gonna get shifted all day, right? And that game never feels fun to play, because a lot of people like playing shifter because it does just auto win. Other than that, I felt like this deck was really strong. Even if my end boards weren't like soloing the game, like I said, they were so sticky. There were so many cards that were just going plus that when I went into the follow-up, I would drop an access code. I'd have 4 different attributes in my graveyard. I mean, look at this. We play a little bit more fires than I thought originally, but I mean, there's all the attributes except for what? Even lights. Yeah, wind. We have every attribute other than water. So we really have a good time. Just like access code, we'll literally just get like 4 pops, and you can just push for game with like access code plus like a nib token. So yeah, honestly, no complaints. Deck felt great. You have really good grind game. Your going first is really strong. You're pretty good going second too. Double Dragon Lords, Little Knight, access code, Sure Egg are all really good starts for going second. Even sprint into Gigantic sometimes. I think I had a game when I played the Melfi variant where I had like this up and I overlaid this, triggered this, bounced their card, and then I did Gigantic play, and I was able to win that way. Deck plays through Nib pretty well. You can just shotgun an early Gigantic because you don't need it to stay on the board, especially like you can just go early Gigantic effect, they're locked out, and now you're just playing Tri-Brigade cards and you're linking away for like cards like Fairy Smith. You're linking away for Sprint afterwards to go into Farragut to then special summon Kit, and then you can do your combo from there. Stuff like that is really strong. So overall, no complaints. Deck felt really good. I felt like I played through a lot. I didn't play like my matchups were okay. I did play like, I think round 1 Pendulum, round 2 Pearly, round 3 Fiendsmith Rebel, round 3 Exodia, round 4 Fiendsmith Rebel. Final round I played versus my kid who's playing Trap Church. His deck profile is going to be on the team channel. He actually got second. He only lost to me, and I got first. So yeah, fun deck. Really enjoyed myself. Locals was fun. Again, we won a prize card. We're going to probably hold these. I think if you also got one of these, I would say hold it right now. I don't think you want to sell these really early on. Because they're going to go up, right now they're at their lowest point because a bunch of people got them, and now the collectors who are saving them are just going to have them. Also, probably don't open it. I think it's probably going to be a better collector item to sell if you have it in its case. That's kind of what I'm thinking, at least. So anyways, yeah, peace out, and hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Bye.